Friends, let me speak to you today about a truth that separates the wealthy from the masses, the successful from the struggling, the masters from the victims of circumstance. This truth is simple yet profound. Wealth is not an accident. It is not a stroke of luck, a gift from the gods, or the privilege of the chosen few. Wealth is the inevitable result of organized planning, executed with the precision of a master strategist and the persistence of an unstoppable force. You sit before me today at a crossroads. Behind you lies the comfortable mediocrity of unplanned existence. Ahead of you stretches the challenging but rewarding path of deliberate wealth creation. The choice is yours, and yours alone. No one can make this decision for you. No one can walk this path for you, but I can show you the way. For over 3 decades, I have studied the minds and methods of the wealthiest individuals in America. I have dissected their strategies, analyzed their failures, and decoded the principles that transformed ordinary people into financial titans. What I discovered will either inspire you to greatness or confirm your commitment to mediocrity. The decision, as always, rests with you. Before we speak of dollars and investments, of businesses and opportunities, we must first address the battlefield where all wealth is truly won or lost your mind. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your most dangerous enemy. There is no neutral ground in this war. The first principle of organized planning is this: you must become the master of your thoughts before you can become the master of your wealth. Every financial decision you make, every opportunity you seize or surrender, every dollar you earn or lose begins with a thought. Control your thoughts, and you control your financial destiny. Surrender control of your thoughts, and you surrender control of your wealth. Consider this scenario. 2 individuals face the same financial setback. Both lose their jobs on the same day. One immediately begins planning their comeback, organizing their resources, seeking new opportunities. The other wallows in self-pity, blames circumstances, and waits for rescue. 6 months later, one has not only recovered, but advanced beyond their previous position. The other remains trapped in the same defeated mindset. The difference was not in their circumstances, but in their mental discipline. Your mind is like a fertile garden. It will grow whatever seeds you plant. Plant seeds of scarcity, fear, and limitation, and you will harvest a life of financial struggle. Plant seeds of abundance, opportunity, and strategic thinking, and you will harvest wealth beyond your current imagination. Here is your first action step. Monitor your financial thoughts for 1 full week. Every time you think about money, write down that thought. At the end of the week, you will have a clear picture of the mental programming that is either creating or destroying your wealth. Thoughts of lack, impossibility, and victimhood must be identified and eliminated. Thoughts of opportunity, strategy, and abundance must be cultivated and strengthened. The wealthy think differently about money than the poor. The poor see money as something that happens to them. The wealthy see money as something they create through organized planning and disciplined execution. Which mindset governs your thoughts about wealth? Random effort produces random results. Organized planning produces predictable wealth. This is not a theory. This is a law as reliable as gravity. Yet most people approach wealth creation with all the organization of a hurricane and wonder why their financial lives remain in chaos. Organized planning begins with a definite purpose backed by definite plans. Not hopes, not wishes, not dreams floating in the clouds of imagination, but concrete, specific, time-bound objectives supported by detailed strategies for their achievement. Let me share with you the story of Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who accumulated one of the greatest fortunes in American history. Carnegie did not stumble into wealth. He did not inherit it. He created it through organized planning so precise that he could predict his financial progress years in advance. Carnegie understood that wealth is mathematic, not magic. He organized his thoughts, his time, his resources, and his relationships around the singular purpose of creating massive value in the marketplace. Your organized plan must contain these 5 essential elements. First, a definite financial goal with a specific deadline. Not, I want to be rich someday, but I will accumulate $100,000 within 3 years through the systematic development of my consulting business. Second, a clear identification of what you will give in exchange for this wealth. The universe operates on the principle of fair exchange. You cannot get something for nothing. What value will you create? What service will you provide? What problem will you solve? Third, a detailed plan of action broken down into daily, weekly, and monthly activities. Your plan must be so specific that anyone could follow it and achieve similar results. Fourth, a timeline with milestone checkpoints. You must know exactly where you should be at every stage of your journey. This allows you to measure progress and make necessary adjustments. Fifth, a mastermind alliance of individuals who will support your plan and hold you accountable for its execution. Wealth creation is not a solo journey. You need the expertise, connections, and encouragement of others who share your commitment to success. Here is your second action step. Write your organized plan today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. A mediocre plan executed immediately is infinitely more valuable than a perfect plan that remains forever in your mind. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than planning their wealth. Do not be most people. Your plan must be written, specific, and reviewed daily. A plan that exists only in your mind is not a plan, it is a wish. A plan that you review occasionally is not a plan, it is a hobby. A plan that you review and adjust daily becomes the blueprint for your financial transformation. Time is the great equalizer and the great multiplier. The wealthy understand the power of compound effort, while the masses squander this most precious resource on activities that produce no lasting value. Compound effort means that every action you take in alignment with your organized plan builds upon every previous action. Like compound interest, the results start slowly but accelerate dramatically over time. The key is consistency, persistence, and the refusal to be discouraged by slow initial progress. Consider two approaches to wealth building. The first person works intensely for short periods, then takes long breaks. They achieve some success, but never build sustainable momentum. The second person works consistently every day, making steady progress toward their goals. Initially, the first person may appear to be ahead, but compound effort inevitably favors the consistent performer. The steady, organized effort compounds into unstoppable momentum. This principle applies to every aspect of wealth creation. Consistent investment compounds into substantial portfolios. Consistent skill development compounds into expertise that commands premium compensation. Consistent relationship building compounds into powerful networks that create opportunities. Consistent value creation compounds into businesses that generate wealth while you sleep. But here is the challenge. Compound effort requires faith in the process when results are not yet visible. Most people quit just before their efforts begin to compound into significant results. They plant seeds, tend them for a few weeks, then dig them up to see if they are growing. The wealthy plant seeds, tend them consistently, and wait patiently for the harvest they know must come. Your third action step: identify the daily activities that will compound into wealth over time. These might include reading books that develop your expertise, making calls that build your network, saving money that compounds into investment capital, or practicing skills that increase your value in the marketplace. Then commit to performing these activities every single day without exception. Remember, small actions performed consistently over time create miraculous results. $1 invested daily at reasonable returns becomes hundreds of thousands over a working lifetime. 1 hour of skill development daily creates world-class expertise within a few years. One meaningful contact made daily builds a network of thousands of relationships. The power is in the compound effect of consistent, organized effort. The path to wealth is not a popularity contest. It requires the mental toughness to make decisions that others will not understand, to maintain focus when others are distracted, and to persist when others have surrendered. Most importantly, it requires the wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain silent about your plans and progress. Strategic silence is one of the most powerful tools in your wealth building arsenal. The masses feel compelled to announce their intentions, seek approval for their plans, and justify their decisions to anyone who will listen. This is a critical error that destroys more wealth building efforts than all other factors combined. When you share your plans prematurely, you invite doubt, criticism, and negative energy into your mental space. Well-meaning friends and family members will offer countless reasons why your plans cannot work. They will share stories of others who tried and failed. They will express concerns about the risks you are taking. Their intentions may be good, but their influence is toxic to your success. Strategic silence does not mean isolation or secrecy. It means carefully controlling who has access to your mental and emotional energy during the critical early stages of your wealth building journey. Share your plans only with members of your mastermind alliance. individuals who support your success and possess the knowledge to offer constructive guidance. Mental toughness means developing immunity to the opinions, criticism, and skepticism of others. You must become emotionally detached from the need for external validation. Your wealth building plan must be driven by your own clear vision and unwavering commitment, not by the approval or disapproval of others. Here is a fundamental truth. The majority will always be wrong about wealth creation. If the majority possess the knowledge and mindset required to build wealth, the majority would be wealthy. They are not. Therefore, their opinions about your wealth building efforts are worthless at best and destructive at worst. When someone questions your plan, your goal, or your methods, respond with strategic silence. You owe no one an explanation for your commitment to financial success. You owe no one a justification for your refusal to accept mediocrity. You owe no one a defense of your organized approach to wealth creation. Your fourth action step: practice strategic silence for the next 30 days. Share your progress only with your mastermind alliance. When others ask about your activities or question your decisions, respond politely but reveal nothing of substance. Notice how this protects your mental energy and maintains your focus on execution rather than explanation. Mental toughness also means developing the discipline to delay gratification. The masses want immediate results from minimal effort. The wealthy understand that significant rewards require significant patience. They plant orchards, not quick growing weeds. They build foundations, not facades. One of the greatest obstacles to wealth creation is the human need for approval, recognition, and validation from others. This need keeps people trapped in jobs they hate, living below their potential, and following the crowd toward collective mediocrity. To build significant wealth, you must develop complete independence from external validation. Your success cannot depend on recognition, praise, or encouragement from others. It must be driven by your own internal standards, your own vision, and your own commitment to excellence. External validation is like a drug. It feels good temporarily, but ultimately weakens your ability to function independently. When you need others to tell you that you are on the right path, you surrender your power to people who may not understand your vision or share your commitment to success. The wealthy validate themselves through results, not opinions. They measure their progress against their own standards, not against the expectations or judgments of others. They derive satisfaction from the systematic achievement of their objectives, not from compliments or social recognition. This independence is not arrogance or indifference to others. It is the mature recognition that your wealth-building journey is ultimately a personal responsibility that cannot be delegated to others. Others can support you, advise you, and encourage you, but they cannot validate your efforts or measure your progress. Only you can do that. Consider this scenario. You are building a business that requires 18 months to become profitable. During this period, friends and family members constantly question your decision. They point to your temporary reduction in income as evidence that your plan is failing. If you depend on their validation, you will abandon your plan just before it begins to produce results. If you are independently motivated, you will persist until you achieve your objective. Your fifth action step: identify all the ways you currently seek external validation regarding your financial decisions. Do you need permission to invest money? Do you need approval to start a business? Do you need encouragement to pursue opportunities? For each dependency you identify, develop an internal standard that eliminates your need for external input. Independence from external validation also means accepting full responsibility for your financial results. You cannot blame circumstances, other people, or market conditions for your lack of wealth if you refuse to take organized action to create it. Responsibility is power. When you accept complete responsibility for your financial situation, you gain complete control over changing it. Wealth creation is not mysterious, mystical, or miraculous. It is mathematical. It follows predictable patterns and responds to specific formulas. Understanding these mathematical principles removes the emotion, fear, and uncertainty that prevent most people from accumulating significant wealth. The fundamental formula for wealth creation is simple: value created minus expenses equals wealth accumulated. Every dollar of wealth you accumulate represents value you have created in excess of your expenses. This value can be created through employment, business ownership, investments, or any combination of these methods. Most people focus on the wrong side of this equation. They concentrate on reducing expenses rather than increasing value creation. While controlling expenses is important, it has natural limits. You can only reduce your expenses to zero, but there is no limit to the value you can create if you organize your efforts systematically. The wealthy focus primarily on increasing the value they create. They develop skills that command higher compensation. They build businesses that solve significant problems. They create products or services that improve the lives of many people. They organize their efforts to maximize value creation rather than minimize expenses. Here are the mathematical principles that govern wealth accumulation first. The velocity principle: the faster you can create value, the faster you can accumulate wealth. A person who creates $1,000 of value per day will accumulate wealth 10 times faster than someone who creates $100 of value per day, assuming equal expenses. Second, the scale principle: the more people you can serve simultaneously, the greater your potential for wealth creation. A business that serves 1,000 customers generates more wealth than a business that serves 100 customers, assuming equal profit margins. Third, the leverage principle: the more you can accomplish through systems, other people, and invested capital, the greater your wealth building potential. Leverage multiplies your personal efforts into results that exceed what you could achieve working alone. Fourth, the compound principle: the longer you can maintain your wealth building activities, the more your results will compound and accelerate. Time transforms small, consistent efforts into extraordinary results. your 6 action steps. Calculate your current value creation rate. How much value do you create per hour, per day, per month? Then identify specific strategies to increase this rate by 50% within the next 12 months. This might involve developing new skills, serving more customers, increasing your prices, or improving your efficiency. Understanding the mathematics of wealth creation also helps you evaluate opportunities objectively. Instead of being swayed by emotions, opinions, or sales presentations, you can analyze opportunities based on their mathematical potential for value creation. Does this opportunity increase your velocity, scale, leverage, or compound potential? If not, it may not deserve your time, energy, or capital. No one builds significant wealth alone. Behind every great fortune stands a mastermind alliance of individuals who contributed their knowledge, connections, resources, and support to the wealth building process. Understanding and applying the mastermind principle can accelerate your wealth creation by years or even decades. A mastermind alliance is not a casual networking group or social club. It is a formal, organized partnership between individuals who are committed to helping each other achieve specific objectives. In the context of wealth building, your mastermind alliance should include individuals who possess knowledge, experience, or resources that complement your own. The power of the mastermind lies in the synergy created when organized minds work in harmony toward a common purpose. 2 minds working together can produce results that exceed the sum of their individual capabilities. 3 minds working in harmony create even greater synergy. The mathematical progression continues as you add more minds to your alliance. But forming a mastermind alliance requires careful selection of participants. Not everyone qualifies to be part of your wealth building mastermind. Members must possess several essential characteristics. They must be committed to their own success and growth. People who are not actively working to improve themselves will drain energy from your alliance rather than contribute to it. They must possess knowledge, skills, or resources that complement your own. The purpose of the mastermind is to access capabilities that you lack, not to surround yourself with people who think exactly like you. They must be trustworthy and reliable. You will be sharing confidential information about your plans, progress, and challenges. Members must maintain confidentiality and follow through on their commitments. They must be positive and supportive. Negative people will contaminate the mental atmosphere of your alliance and sabotage everyone's progress. Your 7th action: step, identify, and recruit your mastermind alliance within the next 60 days. Begin with 2 or 3 individuals who meet the criteria described above. Meet regularly, share your objectives and challenges, and commit to supporting each other's success. The mastermind principle also applies to learning from successful people who may not be directly involved in your alliance. Study the methods of individuals who have achieved the level of wealth you desire. Read their biographies, analyze their strategies, and adapt their principles to your own situation. You can benefit from their experience without direct contact through careful study of their methods. Remember, the mastermind principle is based on giving as well as receiving. You must contribute as much value to your alliance as you expect to receive. This means sharing your own knowledge, connections, and resources generously. The more you contribute to others' success, the more they will be motivated to contribute to yours. The path to wealth is not a smooth highway, but a challenging mountain trail filled with obstacles, setbacks, and temporary defeats. Your ability to navigate these challenges will determine whether you reach your financial destination or abandon your journey in frustration. Most people are not prepared for the obstacles they will encounter in their wealth building journey. They expect smooth progress and become discouraged when they face difficulties. This expectation of ease is one of the primary reasons why so few people accumulate significant wealth. The wealthy understand that obstacles are not interruptions to their progress, but integral parts of the wealth building process. Every obstacle contains within it the seed of an equivalent advantage if you approach it with the right mindset and strategy. When you encounter an obstacle in your wealth building journey, you have three choices. You can surrender and abandon your plan. You can fight the obstacle directly and exhaust your energy in futile struggle. Or you can analyze the obstacle, learn from it, and find a way to transform it into an advantage. The third approach requires mental toughness, creativity, and persistent faith in your ultimate success. It means viewing every setback as temporary and every obstacle as a test of your commitment to your objective. Let me share with you the story of Henry Ford, who faced countless obstacles in building his automotive empire. Banks refused to finance his ventures. Investors doubted his vision. Competitors tried to steal his innovations. Early products failed in the marketplace. Each obstacle could have ended his journey. Instead, Ford used each challenge as an opportunity to refine his methods, strengthen his resolve, and prove the validity of his organized plan. Your eighth action step: prepare for obstacles by developing your obstacle response system. Before obstacles appear, decide how you will respond to them. Will you analyze them objectively? Will you seek advice from your mastermind alliance? Will you view them as opportunities for growth and learning? Having a predetermined response system prevents emotional reactions that can derail your progress. Understanding the psychology of obstacles is crucial to your success. Most obstacles are not as formidable as they initially appear. Fear magnifies obstacles and makes them seem impossible to overcome. Organized analysis reduces obstacles to their actual proportions and reveals practical solutions. When you encounter an obstacle, ask yourself these questions. What can this obstacle teach me about improving my plan? How can I use this challenge to develop skills or knowledge that will benefit my future progress? What opportunities might be hidden within this apparent setback? Who in my mastermind alliances face similar challenges and can offer guidance? The ability to delay gratification is perhaps the most important character trait for wealth building. It is the difference between those who accumulate wealth over time, and those who remain trapped in cycles of earning and spending that never lead to financial independence. Delayed gratification means choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. It means investing money instead of spending it on immediate desires. It means developing skills instead of being entertained. It means building businesses instead of just earning wages. It means creating systems that will generate wealth in the future instead of just solving today's problems. This discipline is not natural or easy. Human beings are programmed to seek immediate rewards and avoid immediate discomfort. The consumer culture actively reinforces these natural tendencies by encouraging spending, borrowing, and instant gratification at every turn. To build wealth, you must develop the discipline to resist these cultural pressures and natural impulses. You must become comfortable with saying no to immediate pleasures in order to say yes to long-term wealth. Consider this practical example. You have $1,000 to allocate. You can spend it on a vacation that will provide temporary pleasure, or you can invest it in developing a skill that will increase your earning capacity for years to come. The immediate pleasure is obvious and certain. The long-term benefit requires faith, patience, and discipline. Most people choose the vacation. The wealthy choose the investments. Your ninth action step: identify your delayed gratification challenges. What immediate pleasures or expenses prevent you from investing in your long-term wealth? Make a list of these gratification challenges and develop specific strategies for overcoming them. This might mean automatic investment plans that remove money before you can spend it, or it might mean finding less expensive alternatives to your current entertainment and consumption habits. Delayed gratification becomes easier when you have a clear vision of your long-term objective, when you can vividly imagine the wealth and freedom you are working to create. Temporary sacrifices become investments in your future rather than deprivations in your present. The compound effect of delayed gratification is extraordinary. Small sacrifices made consistently over time create massive wealth. The person who invests the money others spend on coffee, entertainment, and impulse purchases will accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars over a working lifetime. The ultimate goal of organized planning is to create systems that accumulate wealth automatically without requiring your constant attention and effort. These systems free you from trading time for money and allow your wealth to grow while you sleep, travel, or pursue other activities. Automatic wealth accumulation systems include investments that generate compound returns, businesses that operate profitably without your daily involvement, and passive income, streams that continue producing revenue regardless of your personal activity level. Building these systems requires initial effort, patience, and the discipline to reinvest profits rather than spending them immediately. But once established, they provide the financial freedom that most people only dream about. The key to successful wealth accumulation systems is diversification across multiple income streams. Relying on a single source of wealth is risky and limits your growth potential. The wealthy typically develop multiple streams of income that operate simultaneously and complement each other. These streams might include investment portfolios that generate dividend and appreciation income, real estate properties that produce rental income and long-term appreciation, business ownership that generates profits from the efforts of others, intellectual property that produces royalties from past creative work, professional expertise that commands premium compensation. Your 10th action step: design your wealth accumulation system by identifying at least 3 different income streams you can develop over the next 5 years. Begin working on the first stream immediately while planning the development of the others. Remember, diversified income streams provide both security and accelerated wealth building. Creating automatic systems also requires understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. The wealthy focus on acquiring assets. The poor focus on acquiring liabilities they mistake for assets. Your home, your car, your furniture, and your clothing are liabilities, not assets, regardless of their value. They require money for maintenance, insurance, taxes, and eventual replacement. True assets generate income that exceeds their costs of ownership. Focus your wealth building efforts on acquiring true assets that generate positive cash flow. These assets will fund your lifestyle while continuing to appreciate in value. This is the mathematical foundation of financial independence. We have covered the essential principles of organized planning for wealth creation. You now possess knowledge that can transform your financial future if you apply it with persistence and discipline. But knowledge without action is worthless. Your wealth-building journey begins the moment you take your first organized step toward your financial objective. The time for preparation is over. The time for excuses has ended. The time for action is now. You can spend the rest of your life analyzing, planning, and preparing, or you can begin implementing these principles immediately and start creating the wealth you deserve. Your success will not depend on your current circumstances, your educational background, your family connections, or your access to capital. It will depend entirely on your willingness to organize your thoughts, develop a definite plan, and persist until you achieve your objectives. The principles I have shared with you today are not theories or suggestions. They are proven methods that have created more millionaires than any other approach to wealth building in human history. They work for Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and countless others who transformed themselves from ordinary individuals into financial giants. They will work for you if you apply them with the same organized persistence. But I must warn you, these principles require work. They require discipline. They require the mental toughness to persist when others quit. They require the strategic silence to ignore criticism and doubt. They require the delayed gratification to invest in your future rather than spending on your present desires. Most people will read these principles, agree with their logic, and then do nothing. They will return to their comfortable routines and wonder why their financial situation never improves. Do not be most people. Others will attempt to apply these principles, but will quit at the first sign of difficulty. They will blame the principles, the market conditions, or their circumstances for their failure. Do not be these people either. A few will embrace these principles completely, organize their entire lives around wealth creation, and persist until they achieve financial independence. These few will join the ranks of the truly wealthy and enjoy the freedom that wealth provides. You must decide today which group you will join. Your decision cannot be postponed. Every day you delay beginning your organized wealth building program is a day that compound interest, compound effort, and compound results could have been working in your favor. Time is your most valuable resource in wealth creation, and it cannot be recovered once lost. Here is your final action step, the one that will determine whether this speech transforms your life or becomes just another interesting presentation. You once heard, within the next 24 hours, complete the first action step I outlined. Write your definite financial objective with a specific deadline and a detailed plan for its achievement. Not next week, not when you have more time, not when conditions are more favorable. Today, right now. Then begin implementing your plan immediately. Take the first step, no matter how small it may seem. Make the first call, write the first page, invest the first dollar, have the first conversation. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Remember, the world does not owe you wealth. Wealth is not distributed randomly or fairly. Wealth is created by individuals who understand and apply the principles of organized planning with unwavering persistence. You now understand these principles. The question is, will you apply them? Your financial future is not determined by your past or your present circumstances. It is determined by the decisions you make and the actions you take from this moment forward. You have the knowledge. You have the opportunity. You have the choice. Choose wealth. Choose organization. Choose persistence. Choose to begin today. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be financially is organized planning and persistent action. Everything else is just an excuse. Your wealth building journey begins now. Make it count.